This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Ice Cube's Big 3 is the surprise hit of the summer. This Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS with playoff elimination on the line. The most physical, fiercest, and competitive basketball in the world. Miami's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson must win to make the playoffs. And breakout star Dwight Howard of the LA Riot will battle Gary Payton's Boston squad in a do-or-die match for both teams. 6 teams are alive for 4 spots and all must win. There's no crying in the Big 3. And the no-holds-barred action starts Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Presented by iHeart.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
We all remember that one teacher who made a difference, believed in us, challenged us, or just made learning fun. Now your chance to say thank you in a big way with iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, provided by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding public school teacher who's gone above and beyond for their students to win $5,000 to stock their classroom with whatever they need. Today's teacher of the day is Stephanie Christensen, who teaches at Valley View Middle School. And folks told us is an art teacher that has made multiple students fall in love with art. Help us say thank you to educators shaping our future. Nominate your favorite teacher at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Tennafitzgerald sails on, the common man out all week, which is music to the ears of Mark Rosen. You get a week off from the common man.
Once again, I have a blood pressure thing, right, to keep track of.
Yeah.
Just knowing that this hour is common free, my blood pressure went way down. It's amazing. And it's astonishing.
So much so that even tomorrow and Thursday, you're going past your hour. Your bonus Rosen.
Yeah.
So I need you to tell. Go ahead.
No,
I was going to move on, but I've never attended a National Football League joint practice. I've never.
Okay.
Actually, did Common and I go? I don't remember. I felt like if we did, we saw like just a piece of it. But tomorrow and Thursday, it sounds like while we're on the air, noon to 3,
right?
That the joint practices are basically like noon to 2:30. So like we're gonna be there for basically all of it. So tell me what a joint practice is like. I'd like to know ahead of time. Prepare me for it.
Selfishly, I want to be out there as well because we got a pregame show I'm hosting again on Saturday, and it certainly would give me a nice glimpse into what a lot of the discussion with Ron Johnson and Don Mitchell will be about. Give me the ding. Will be about what goes on in those 2 days.
By the way, I might have the bell available for Ron Johnson tomorrow as well, because he's the only one who can match you in the name dropping.
But he gets into the gossip already.
I'm going to have to be on top of it.
Yeah, you're going to have to be paying attention back here.
Even in our first pregame show on Fox 9 last Saturday, we're talking about getting ready for the season, opening up against the Bears, and he drops, Caleb Williams broke up with his girlfriend, don't you? I went,
he's got that info?
He had, and I actually saw something on social media about that. So he
broke up with her?
I believe so. I don't know all the circumstances. Get Ron on the hotline.
Is that a good or a bad thing going on this season?
He felt it was a good thing from a football standpoint that, his mind now will be concentrating just on football and not the dramatics of his relationship with this young lady. But the fact that he brought it up just cracked me up because he always has that little inside information about someone. The joint practices and I was talking to Brett about it during the commercial break. I think eventually these will and should. Of course, money gets into it. We all know how that works. From a football standpoint, these should replace preseason games because you have ones against ones. Can't hit the quarterback. You still have enough legitimate hitting. You got guys running routes and doing different things. And, obviously the Vikings and the Patriots don't play each other during the regular season, so it makes a lot of sense that they're not going to be showing that team something that they'll be able to look at later on. A lot of it tomorrow you'll see might be a little more mundane than you think it's going to be. It's not like they line up 11 on 11 right away and start ripping. They stick to their own team for a while.
Actually, I saw some of the Titans practice. Now I remember.
Do you remember that?
Because I remember the Titans defensive linemen were just bull rushing our offensive linemen.
But the Vikings will do their own thing on one field. They have enough fields out there, and the Patriots will do their own thing on another field. And then they'll get together for a little bit. They might just do small little drills. Then they might do some 7-on-7. But then you'll have some, regular football. Pretty good hitting. You're not supposed to, again, in theory, if JJ throws a little screen pass to Aaron Jones, you're not supposed to try to take his head off. I mean, you're supposed to, bring him down. You can tackle him, but nothing aggressive. But that's easier said than done with Mike Vrabel in particular. I'm not saying KOC's a choir boy when it comes to and the defense and Brian Flores in particular. They'll be feisty, especially since the ones don't get a chance to really play in the preseason, that they want to hit somebody other than their own teammate. So I'm expecting it's going to get, I'm reading a lot about Vrabel coming back to New England and how he wants his team to be violent. He wants his team to be this and that. He sent a clear message to his team that, I heard Chad Graff on with you earlier. Doesn't sound like they have a lot of hope this year. They're selling hope with Drake May, but, so I expect to see some fireworks out there. I hope it's pretty clean. I hope it's clean. And again, the quarterbacks, J.J. McCarthy he's wearing a red jersey. Drake May will be wearing a red jersey. You can tap them. It's like playing flag football, but that's really the extent of it. But yeah, I think I'm anxious to see the Vikings' number one defensive line go up against them and vice versa, our offensive line. So yeah, there'll be some moments that'll get your attention, and it'll be good. But I think that's kind of the way that a lot of these teams, remember, it was kind of a rare thing. Remember the Vikings did this when they were in Mankato. They went to River Falls. They scrimmaged against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think the Chiefs came down to Mankato one time. The reason I remember that is because Brock Lesnar was trying out for the Vikings.
Yeah.
And that's the only time, and we've all seen Brock. We've known Brock forever. The only time where Brock Lesnar looks small to me, how ironic, was when he was in a football uniform. Remember that? I think he was wearing number 69. And he got into it. He got into it with one of the Chiefs linemen and ended up putting him in a suplex or something. But he got into a fight with and they got football equipment on. He's not pinning the guy, but they got into it. But I remember the Chiefs came down to Mankato, and the Vikings were in River Falls, and I believe that's when Joe Montana was finishing up his career with Kansas City, which is so weird to think about. But, so it's been going on for a while, but I think more and more teams now are looking at it like, this is something we should do when we're hosting that team in a game on Saturday. This will be far more interesting, I think, than the game itself on Saturday. From a pure football standpoint. Now, having said that, I think, Viking fans still want to say, okay, what's the big competition for the number 2 quarterback? Is Max Brosmer going to be able to move up the charts? Is he going to be able to duplicate what he did? Is he going to play a full half? Because J.J. McCarthy's not going to play at all. So Howell will start, and then Rippon probably, and Brosmer will get some action as well. So,
well, I want to. We haven't gotten your comments about the Saturday preseason game. I want to hear about what your thoughts on who stuck out to you, how you thought J.J. McCarthy did. We'll talk about that with Mark Rosen next, right here on the Tennafitzgerald.
The reviews and ratings are in, and Ice Cube's Big 3 is the surprise hit of the summer. This Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS, with playoff elimination on the line, the stars will be flocking to Los Angeles to witness the most physical, fiercest, and competitive basketball in the world. Miami's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson must win over Houston to make the playoffs, reeling from last week's savage beating at the hands of Chicago's possessed Montrezl Harrell. Last time these teams met, Miami beat Houston, but they are a dangerous team having their manhood at stake. Then breakout star Dwight Howard of the LA Riot will battle Gary Payton's Boston squad in a do-or-die match for both teams. Will LA avenge their previous shocking loss to perennial basketball Boston rivals to survive? 6 teams are allowed for 4 spots, and all must win. Don't miss the Big 3, the 3-on-3 basketball league everyone is talking about. There's no crying in the Big 3, and the no-holds-barred action starts Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, followed by 2 games on Vice starting at 6:30 Eastern, presented by iHeart.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Welcome back to the Tennafitzgerald. Mark Rosen in, as always, in the 2 o'clock hour. Rosey, J.J. McCarthy on Saturday. We only saw 12 plays out of him, one drive. They scored a field goal, but what were your thoughts on his performance?
Pretty much what I expected. I mean, I don't think they asked a lot of him. I mean, he obviously has very good mobility, and I think one thing that, you don't want your quarterback running, but you want him to be able to run at the right time, and he did so on a third down play, and that's not the should be the number one takeaway from your promising young quarterbacks, that he can run for a first down. But, I think he managed the offense well. You could tell that he was without Justin Jefferson out there, that Jordan Addison was going to be kind of his go-to guy. And, we all know his story, that without Addison getting the 3-game suspension, the question remains who's going to be the number 2 guy out there when Addison's suspended and Justin Jefferson hopefully is back 100%. Sure, he will be. But I think, McCarthy, I think he had naturally probably had a little nerves. He said he could feel it with the stadium for the first, he played here last year for in the first preseason game. But it's a little different now, knowing that he's the starting quarterback. I don't know. My impression is I think the kid's got a world of talent, but there are definitely going to be growing pains. I think for people to think that, as most first-year quarterbacks, I want to say that right. I mean, he's not a rookie, but first-year quarterbacks coming out of the blocks, they have I think their easier part of their schedules early on in the season. Will he be able to come out on the road in Chicago? I don't care where you're playing. If the Bears are just an okay team, it's still going to be a lot of pressure on him making the right decisions. The moment's never been too big for him in his high school and certainly his collegiate career. He's lost a total of 3 games as a starting quarterback through high school and college. That's just, it's just remarkable. And he's played in a national championship game in front of, he's played in front of 100,000 people. I think he's going to get more and more excited as time gets closer. And that he's going to have, his go-to weapon in Justin Jefferson. And I think TJ Hawkinson. I think the importance of TJ Hawkinson, seeing him on the field even Saturday, which I was surprised to see him out there, given the fact that I think he had a groin injury or something. He played. I think he's going to be the guy that really going to be the security blanket for J.J. McCarthy early in the season, in particular, without Addison. He's going to, we know he can catch the ball, and I think it's going to have all the more importance of the running game. The Vikings may not be as explosive as they're going to be later in the year, early this season. So I think Aaron Jones and Mason, Jordan Mason, will be very, very important to the success of the Vikings to kind of grind out some drives and put McCarthy in the best possible position to succeed. So I that's what I expect. I don't think they're going to put him too much on his plate right away. Manage the game right, do it right, use your instincts. But I think it's going to be great to watch him develop. But I don't expect him to blow up your fantasy football team right away. And by the way, he's on my fantasy football team, but not my starter.
You got a fantasy football team. Shocking you with the homer pick with J.J. McCarthy.
Well, I had to. I felt the pressure because I was playing Lavelle Neal, as it turns out, in the first round. I'm not starting him. I have Lamar Jackson. I haven't played fantasy football in I don't know, when did it start? My son, who's now about to turn 40.
Long time ago.
Yeah. We did a team one year, and that was the only time. didn't have the time mentally when I'm at the game, covering the game, to worry about my fantasy team. When I watch all these other guys around me sitting on their computers, what are they doing? Oh, they're checking their fantasy players. That was before it became big. So we had a draft for Talk North Sports with myself and Lavelle and Suhan and Kevin Gorg was kind of our leader, and a whole bunch of guys. And so we had our draft, and I was astonished. I'm looking at my phone, how everything's on your telephone. I don't have any idea. I thought, you get your draft.
Fantasy football's probably changed a lot since you were
90 seconds to make a draft. This is the way the draft should go.
Yeah,
and they tell you which players to suggest.
They tell you they got the rankings for you right there.
Oh my God, it was fun. Anyway, what was I talking about?
I miss the old days when people didn't have the ranking set up for them.
I know.
You could get some steals and some sleepers, and now,
like I said, I never.
Now everyone's a sleeper.
Yeah, everybody's a sleeper. Well, it's obviously a big part of why the NFL continues to be king of the hill when it comes to sports franchises in America. Anyway, I thought, the defense, again, you're playing this game. I'm looking at their starters. We're going to see them starting tomorrow with, Grenard didn't play, Allen didn't play, Hargrave didn't play, Van Ginkel didn't play, Cashman didn't play, Byron Murphy.
Might as well just say who did play.
Harrison Smith. None of these guys played. So it's like, well, how did the defense look? I don't know.
We saw a little Jeff Okudah and Ivan Pace. I saw those two out there.
That's about it. Reichart made his field goals. Again, one of the other big issues now with the unfortunate injury to Rondale Moore, who is desperately trying to come back again and at least make an impact as a punt returner. That job's open now, and he also provided some security, I think, at wide receiver. Where now, I think we're going to have to go with our guy Lucky Jackson to be the guy. Lucky. Excuse me. So that's yet to be determined. That's why, the last two games we'll see. We'll see. I saw him at the game too. More importantly, I saw Louis at the game. Jalen Naylor, can he step up? He's been speedy. They call it. He's the guy they've been he's got the most experience out of those wide receivers. So still some stuff left to be determined. But I think if push came to shove, KOC pretty much knows what his roster is going to be right now.
All right. So after J.J. McCarthy, I want to have you address your thoughts on the quarterback play. I think Sam Howell, 11 for 13?
Right.
Led them to a touchdown drive in which he scored on a quarterback sneak. I thought Max Brosmer was really good.
He was.
In his play, other than the fumbled snap, which I don't know who that's on, him or the center. But, Brett Rippon didn't really do a whole lot, but the backups, because that's been a question as well. After J.J. McCarthy, you don't have some seasoned veteran that you typically have with a young quarterback like McCarthy.
Well, you got a guy in Sam Howell who's got NFL experience, and he's started a number of games. And I think we saw a much better version of Sam Howell than all the reports were. We've been out to camp, but times we were out there, we really could say, oh my God, Howell apparently has not been, the whole offense has been great against the number one defense out there. It's good to see Sam kind of get a little more comfortable. And I would say he's absolutely the odds-on favorite to be the backup quarterback to J.J. McCarthy. I think Brosmer's in really good position to be on the practice squad. I know theoretically you can carry, 3 quarterbacks now, and Rippon might be the odd man out. He's had a couple chances, but I honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised at Brosmer's, not just the way he played on Saturday, but the way KOC has been talking about him. And I know coaches want to build up the egos or whatever, their confidence level of their players, any of them. But as a former quarterback, and some of the quarterback whisperer, he has said some legitimate things about Brosmer that kind of get your attention. I know he threw a great pass at practice yesterday that I saw a clip of in practice, and put it right on the money, 40-yard pass, not just a check down. So. Yeah, I still think it's going to be, obviously Howell getting in relief, and you talked to Chad Graff about this. It's so ironic that Josh Dobbs is back in town tomorrow as the backup for the Patriots, and good for him. Really, it's just what a story. And this young man continues to get work, stay employed. He's bounced around. He had his meteoric rise here for 3 weeks, and then
Did you say mediocre rise?
well, it ended up being that way after teams figured them out. But that was the most unusual situation to be put into. Didn't even know the plays, basically. But I think Sam Howell probably hasn't. Of course, has never been surrounded like the talent he's surrounded by now here with the Vikings offensively, and I think that will make him a better quarterback. And given how KOC can work with quarterbacks like Sam Howell, I think he'll be a legitimate backup. You don't even think that way because, like most teams, if you have to rely on your backup quarterback, you're probably not going to be doing much this year.
I looked at Alec Lewis's 53-man roster projection at The Athletic, and after this last preseason game, he has the Vikings keeping 3 quarterbacks, with Brosmer being one of them. Man,
well, I don't disagree.
Yeah, I mean, we still have 2 preseason games. We still have joint practices. But if the performance is sustainable that we saw at US Bank Stadium, that's a guy who's going to get claimed by somebody if you don't put him on your roster.
100%. Yeah, I think a lot of, and that's what I think the Vikings might be looking at as well. Those wheels never stop churning upstairs in the offices, where Kwesi is and Rob Brzezinski and the people have to make decisions because every single team. I haven't seen the latest Hard Knocks, but you really that show does a really good job of showing the mechanics of how its football operation is run. And I think this time of year, especially when it gets down to cutdown day, we know how that goes. When we're at the State Fair in a couple of weeks, that's when things get really interesting because whether it's financial reasons or, they got to keep a younger player because the salary matches, better than a veteran. That one of these wide receivers will pop. I mean, I just find it hard to believe in my own mind that the Vikings are going to necessarily roll with what they have right now with Addison out for the first 3 weeks. And, I'm not saying there's any worry about Justin Jefferson because I think he's going to be fine. But you just can't.
We're just lacking some depth right now.
Yeah, they are. And then they throw in the punt returner. Yeah, exactly. So, I think they may look on the outside, and that won't be for a while because of the cut down dates.
Speaking of Justin Jefferson, Kevin O'Connell had some interesting words about JJ, not health wise, but just the career trajectory of Justin Jefferson. We'll play that audio.
Oh, great.
On the other side of this break. Mark Rosen, one final segment on the Tennafitzgerald.
The reviews and ratings are in, and Ice Cube's Big 3 is the surprise hit of the summer. This Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS, with playoff elimination on the line, the stars will be flocking to Los Angeles to witness the most physical, fiercest, and competitive basketball in the world. Miami's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson must win over Houston to make the playoffs, reeling from last week's savage beating at the hands of Chicago's possessed Montrezl Harrell. Last time these teams met, Miami beat Houston, but they are a dangerous team having their manhood at stake. Then breakout star Dwight Howard of the LA Riot will battle Gary Payton's Boston squad in a do-or-die match for both teams. Will LA avenge their previous shocking loss to perennial basketball Boston rivals to survive? 6 teams are allowed for 4 spots and all must win. Don't miss the Big 3, the 3-on-3 basketball league everyone is talking about. There's no crying in the Big 3, and the no-holds-barred action starts Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, followed by 2 games on Vice starting at 6:30 Eastern, presented by iHeart.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.
Getting a little dicey for our gal Isabella McCauley in the Minnesota Women's Open right now.
Oh, really?
At Royal Golf Club in Lake Elmo. She had a 3-stroke lead going into the day. She was up 5 at one point. Mm-hmm. It's now back down to 3. She is even through 15 today, 4 under for the 2 days with 3 to go. Grace Petzold is 3 strokes back at 2 under on the day, 1 under overall. So The reason we brought it up earlier is because both Isabella and Reese were playing in the final group together today, battling it out for the women's Open championship, Minnesota Women's Open. Reese is even 4 strokes back. She's in 3rd place. So right now, Bella's a baller. She's up 3. She has 3 holes to go. Petzold has 2 holes to go.
There's a rich history of that tournament. We've had some phenomenal women golfers going on. Obviously, even play. I think Jody Rosenthal. When I think of her name, the name Gumlia comes back to me from way, way back in the days when I first started out. But we've had some wonderful golfers, and we got a new generation now. And Isabella's probably leading the pack.
It's now time for Blind Rank.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready for blind rank, Rosie? You have a piece of paper and a pen in front of you.
Not only that, you did my homework. You wrote 1 through 10.
I got 10 spots on there, just so you can keep track of it so you know what spots you have available. Right. The way blind rank works.
I've heard this before with someone else. Yeah.
I'm going to give you 10, in this case, 10 names that are all part of a category.
Okay.
You don't know which name's coming up, so you have to rank them 1 through 10. 1 being the best, 10 being the worst, but you don't know what's coming up behind you.
JG doing this with women's tennis.
Yes.
And he failed miserably.
You thought he failed?
Well, he knows he failed because didn't he leave out, was it Martina or someone?
I think Martina Navratilova,
uh-oh.
He was afraid to put anyone at the bottom, which I think you're going to do. I think you're going to be afraid to rip anyone.
I don't know. But we'll just see. I don't know what the category is. So.
Are you ready for your category?
I guess so.
All-time greatest sports broadcasters.
Oh, my
You got to rank them
God.
1 through 10, 1 being the best, but you don't know what sports broadcasters coming up next. Are you ready? First one, Al Michaels. Do you believe in miracles?
Well, I know about Al Michaels.
Longtime NFL play-by-play.
I know. I'm trying not to think about him. I'm trying to think of all the other ones that are going to be out there.
Well, and give me a little commentary. What you like about Al Michaels, what you don't like about it. If you don't like him, if you want to rip him.
The story of the Miracle on Ice is that he was asked before the 1980 Olympics. He'd never done hockey before. And it wasn't going to be a big deal because everyone knew the Russians were going to coast to the gold medal. And, the audience in the United States probably isn't going to be that large. I mean, it wasn't that big a deal. And all of a sudden, I'll do it. And Al, obviously versatile enough. He's done everything else. So he took on the responsibilities with Ken Dryden, the goalie from the Montreal Canadiens. And rest is history, as they say.
Pretty epic call for a guy who's not used to doing hockey.
Obviously, he's one of the top of all time in every sport. No, I think when he's on the air, I think he's more interested in mentioning the spread, point spread, than he is doing the game. That's okay. He's still one of the best. Okay, you want me to tell you where I'm putting him?
Yeah, you got to rank him 1 through 10. Where do you think he's going to land? All-time greatest sports broadcasters.
I'm putting him 3rd.
3rd, Al Michaels.
I'm writing this.
I feel like you're going to put everyone in the top 5 and then just leave some really good ones.
I don't know. Because I think in my own mind, I know who I'm going to have number 1, but we'll see.
Okay. Up next, Vin Scully.
Well, again, always known for baseball. No one was better. He absolutely was the king when it came to baseball. The Dodgers, the painting a picture on the radio. No one was better at his craft. But I think if you're going to rate, and I know he did other sports, but Vin Scully basically was just baseball, and no one was better at it. So I think if you're going to encompass like the Al Michaels and doing other sports, I'll probably have to drop him to number 4.
Oh, Vin Scully at 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know I'm going to regret that.
So
but I think only because he was known for just doing the one sport, did it better than anyone else. But that was it. I think of
all right,
broadcasters.
You got Al Michaels at 3, Vin Scully at 4. How about John Madden?
Again, former, longtime coach.
You just don't want to rip people, do you?
No. I mean,
rip them.
Madden, no, there are others I could rip. Madden and Summerall were phenomenal together. I mean, and again, that's what he just did football, and he came up with some of the great, clever, commentary that Common uses on his show all the time. And
sometimes when you practice,
there you go.
Chairs. When you run through chairs just to show zones and stuff. The Viking defense looks like it's chairs.
But because he did just NFL football, I'll put him at 6th.
They are still handing out turkey legs at Thanksgiving.
I know.
Because of John Madden.
It was one of my great thrills was 1998 game when the Vikings played the Cowboys in Dallas, Randy Moss's rookie year, and my son was with me, and he had a really cool camera. He got on the sidelines and he was taking pictures of the turkey eating contest between Chris Carter and Randy Moss and I think Jake Reed and who else was down there.
As good as it gets.
It's as good as it gets.
All right, you got Al Michaels at 3, Vince Scully at 4, John Madden at 6. Local angle, Kevin Harlan.
Oh my goodness, it's good. You know, it's gonna be hard to put him down. Well, Kevin is, maybe my favorite NBA announcer, but he does everything well.
I was so sad in the NBA playoffs this year where we got to watch Kevin Harlan through the conference finals, and then the NBA finals was on ESPN, and we no longer had Kevin Harlan. I'm like, guys, you got to come with some sort of agreement that whoever is, whatever station or streaming service the NBA finals is on, Kevin Harlan should be calling.
What's going to happen here?
I don't care who he's employed by.
Right. What's going to happen here, you're going to name some great broadcasters that are going to end up 8, 9,
I told
10.
you were going to do this.
I know you did. I can't put Kevin Harlan any lower than 5th. He's phenomenal.
All right, you got Kevin Harlan at 5.
Yeah. I got 3 through 6 taken care of.
He's probably in your phone, so that's why you're like, I can't rip him too much because he'll text me about it.
Ripping him. Everybody loves Kevin Harlan. He's the GOAT when it comes to...
So you got 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 10 are available.
I don't know. Yeah, holding on to here.
Jim Nance.
Well, I knew that name would come up, and I think, man, with his versatility, what he's done in straight across the board, continues to do with the NFL. Obviously, he's done with NCAA basketball. I got
Masters.
I got to put him number 2.
Number 2.
Didn't he announce that he's going to be done with the Masters in like 10 years or something like that?
I think so.
Yeah.
But, he's not for everybody.
He gives his tie to people after that.
Well, I mean, he's as steady as they come.
He's as professional as it is.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be flashy. But I think when Jim Nance isn't doing one of those major events, it suffers a little bit. He's as good as I've seen in my era. So I'll put him number 2.
All right, you got Jim Nance 2, Al Michaels 3, Vince Scully 4, Kevin Harlan 5, John Madden 6. You have 1, 7, 8, 9, and 10 available.
I mean, you better have him on my list.
This guy goes, yes! Marv Albert.
Oh.
Yes!
Number 9.
Brett has no idea who Marv Albert is.
I only not putting him 10, and he was terrific.
He was the voice of basketball in the 1990s.
Yeah, and he was terrific. But he's got Kenny Albert, his brother, right? Hockey.
Is that his son?
Son or no? That can't be.
Isn't Kenny his son?
Maybe it is.
I think
You're right.
he is,
You're right.
Yeah. But Kenny's pretty good too.
Yeah, Marv is terrific, but I can't put him in the same category as some of the other guys.
I had a little off the microphone issue that kind of tarnished his legacy as well.
Soundbite we use.
So you have 1, 7, 8, and 10 available. Vern Lundquist.
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore too.
Happy Gilmore too. I just saw him.
He had one of the better lines in that movie.
I know he did. I got to keep number 10 open, so I'll put Vern number 8. Very solid. I think he did the Masters that when Jack.
I love him at golf.
Yeah, I
just love that voice.
But again, and he did every other sport too. But I got to put him a little lower than that. But I'll put him 8.
All right, we got 1, 7, and 10 available. I think this next one is probably who you're relieving for number 1. Howard Cosell.
Oh, no.
Well, really?
No. Howard was a very polarizing.
I thought you were a big Howard Cosell guy.
You're ripping Howard Cosell.
I thought your generation, this was the guy.
Let me tell you something. Muhammad Ali was nothing without me. No, he was not he wasn't a sport. He was more of a social commentator than he was a sports announcer. Monday Night Football and everything. He was a pain in the ass most of the time. I read his book. I got
Can you cut that part out for the next Common Man liner, by the way?
The Common Man.
I was at a bar in Detroit covering a Vikings game, a Monday night game with Mike Lynn and Howard Cosell, smoking cigars and drinking martinis in a bar. I seen him in action. He's going number 10.
Number 10. Wow. I did not.
Only because he wasn't a sports. I mean, he thought of himself to be that way, but he was not I think a play-by-play guy is more than just the color guys. And Howard was he was a polarizing figure. Interesting to listen to, and because of Ali, he was able to make the biggest name for himself.
So you got 1 and 7 available.
Man, I hope he's on this list.
Jack Buck. Not Joe Buck. Jack Buck.
Well, I don't know who your number one is. I know who my number one is. And you probably don't even know who
I didn't
he is.
ask you about someone else. I asked you about Jack Buck. Do you need to play the...
No, I know.
And we'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah. Well, I got to slot him into number 7.
Okay.
And I assume you said Jack Buck, so I assume Joe Buck is the one that's outstanding.
What happens when you assume?
Make an ass out of you and me.
Yeah. You shouldn't assume.
Okay, thank you.
There's so many broadcasters available that aren't even on this list.
What a draft.
But according to this, the number one broadcaster in sports of all time.
According to Mark Rosen.
According to Mark Rosen, the best sports broadcaster of all time, Harry Carey.
Well, listen, he was more localized. We all know Harry with the Cubs and, have another beer and, just the way people, especially Will Ferrell,
if the moon was made out of ribs.
Yeah. Harry Carey's
iconic.
Iconic, but again, local. I mean, unfortunately, we didn't get exposed to Harry Carey unless you watched WGN.
No, he was on WGN. I saw him more than anybody.
WGN.
They were always on television.
They were always on when we didn't have cable TV or anything. It was always on. Are you done now? Is that it?
That's done with the blind ranking. So, first off, one Harry Carey thing.
Yeah.
I think it was Paul Allen who did this impression once. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong person. This is Harry Carey's impression of a Sean Dunston to Ryan Sandberg to Mark Grace double play. So 6-4-3. There was PA's impression of it. Hey! That's how you'd call the play-by-play.
Oh, that's funny.
Singing the 7th inning stretch. It was as good as it gets. I approve of him number 1. So you had Harry Carey number 1, Jim Nantz 2, Al Michaels 3, Vince Scully 4, Kevin Harlan 5, John Madden 6, Jack Buck 7, Vern Lundquist 8, Marv Albert 9, and Howard Cosell 10.
We didn't have Joe Buck.
You think he's number 1 all time?
No, I'm not. I'm saying he should be on the list, though. I think a lot of people are. The number 1 guy in my mind over the years, you didn't have the great Dick Enberg on there either, who was phenomenal.
I did have him in consideration.
But Jim McKay should be he's number 1 in my book.
Okay.
Just covering the wide world of sports, what he did in Munich during the Olympics, during the god-awful, Israeli hostage situation and everything that went on. But he was the host. And Costas wasn't on there either. And maybe that wasn't, the reason why. Ray Scott wasn't on there. I mean, I'm throwing out other names, old school. But Jim McKay, to me, was an iconic figure.
Paul Allen, not on there. The list as well.
It was kind of more national guys. I did get a bunch of texts at the Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line 64686. Tony Romo suggested by Johnny in East Grand Forks, who also suggested Bob Uecker.
Yeah, I mean, hilarious.
Jerry Lawler, John McEnroe,
Jerry Lawler,
Bill Walton. This one's my favorite from Willow, Mark Rosen's cat.
Oh boy,
Tenna. $500 if you say Ann Hutchinson last.
Meow.
Yeah, that's an interesting list.
Eddie Doucette. Doc Emmerich. I mean, he's hockey play-by-play. He's
waffle boarded.
Yeah, if you had said Doc Emmerich.
Brett Musburger.
Yeah.
Don Cherry, they're being thrown out.
Yeah. Well, McKay, Ray Scott, Dick Enberg was phenomenal. Who else? Kurt Gowdy was a name that was he was probably in the 60s and 70s, the premier sportscaster on TV. Again, these are old school. You can have list 15, 20 of them and come up with names. But McKay to me was the guy. So, but this is a good list.
The next one will be local sports. Next time I have you on.
Okay.
Yeah. Local sports broadcasters.
The history.
We'll see if you start doing some ripping then.
I could. But I won't.
I know this is going to be really shocking to you, but the Twins did not win in New York last night. They lost to the Yankees.
I was talking to Mr. Bonus, who was a guest of yours, and I had the game on, and because it's always a curiosity factor when they play the Yankees, because most of the time they don't do anything, as you know. And they got down early, 3-0, 3 solo home runs, I think it was, and they came back. Okay, that's 3-1, 3-2, bottom of the 7th. And this is where, and John and I were on the same wavelength. This is where the trades bit him right in the butt again last night. Instead of bringing out, a Griffin Jacks, a Louis Varland, some guy named
to keep the game close.
Yeah. Give us a shot.
Yep.
They may not score. As it turned out, they didn't. But that's not the point. They only had 3 hits. But some guy named Krisky came out. It's over in the blink of an eye. I mean, he gives up the insurance runs that the Yankees scored, and that's where this team is just in deep trouble. They can't put themselves in a position, in most cases, to come back because their bullpen is so weak. Tonight they have a bullpen game. That ought to look really... And the Yankees have been struggling. You know, they haven't been playing great baseball. The Twins only had 3 hits last night, and it's too bad considering how hot they were. Keishel didn't, continue he lost his hitting streak. Zeb Matthews had 9 strikeouts, but, gave up 3 home runs.
Good to get Byron Buxton back off the injured list. He did home run. I know he struck out 3 times, but hit a home run.
People are kind of...
Got the buck truck going.
Watching with one eye open, and, the lineup can be pretty interesting, but there again, when you get to the bullpen and you're trying to either close out a game or keep yourself in the game, last night was a perfect example of it. They just don't have the bullpen guys anymore. They're all gone. And that, maybe next year it'll be a different story with the people they picked up. But, getting rid of Louis Varland was like, what? I mean, I know that's not the biggest name, but he fit a really good role. And then Duran, obviously, in the closer, they had these guys. They weren't killing the payroll. So, I don't know. I just shrug my shoulders and go, well, it's over. The 3-2, and they bring in some guy named Krisky. Good luck.
I'm getting some more texts at the Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line. Really big with the sports broadcast.
Yeah, that's a good look.
More Amsterdam guy says, the Holy Cross hockey dough, nothing better. Which I can't disagree.
I always love that one.
Pat Summerall.
Yeah.
Rowdy Gaines in swimming. Rowdy Gaines is really good.
He is very good.
I feel like all the Olympics broadcasters.
Again, we're talking about one, but he does one sport. You're talking with all time.
I didn't say it had to be multiple sports. Okay.
That's my
You
criteria.
got to be versatile enough to do multiple sports.
Yeah, that's why I said McKay, Nance,
Harlan
Michaels.
can do basketball and football.
That's why that's why I think so highly of him. Absolutely. He's
Cosell could do multiple sports.
No, he couldn't. We tried.
He did boxing. He did football.
Well, he was in the booth. And Howard was he used a lot of big words. And he was entertaining, but for people who didn't get a chance to listen to him, he kind of wore on you too.
We got Keith Jackson, Gary Thorne, Pat Summerall, Zach Halverson has gotten
Zach's got a couple votes.
Charlie Jones from the 70s. I don't know who that is. Local guys.
He's at NBC.
Local guys, Al Shaver, Herb Carneal.
Yes. Oh, God, yeah.
Bob Beatty. Mean Gene Okerlund. I don't think he was a broadcaster. Or was he?
No. Mean Gene just interviewed. He interviewed all the
He was like a host. Yeah,
he was a host.
He had the microphone.
He was great at it.
Greg Gumbel, Brian Anderson. We've had a lot of greats.
We have.
Vikings, Patriots, joint practice. What are you expecting out of the New England Patriots tomorrow?
Show up. I'm anxious to see Drake May. I assume we're not going to see him on Saturday. No. I've heard a lot of good things about him, and I think Chad Graff from The Athletic in New England said it best. This team is not very good. They're trying to get better, but I'm anxious to see the Vikings defense, especially the secondary against Drake May, who's got a lot of talent. Otherwise, hey, welcome back Steph Diggs, and welcome back Garrett Bradbury, and welcome back Josh Dobbs
and Parker Romo.
Parker Romo?
Yeah, he kicked a couple games for us last year.
I remember the name, yeah.
Yeah.
He kicks for
I think he actually did okay.
Yeah.
Did he have a game-winning kick for us?
I think
he did, yeah.
I think he did.
Yeah.
So we'll be out there
Welcome
tomorrow.
back, Parker Romo.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Look forward to it.
I'm excited to see, is this our first time our fans have seen Stephon Diggs in person, or has he appeared?
Man,
I don't remember.
I
don't remember if the Bills were here. Were the Texans here last year? He might have been hurt at that point. I don't know.
Yeah, he got the ACL then too, so...
All right, thanks, Rosey. Right. We'll see you tomorrow at
yes, sir.
Vikings joint practice in Eagan. Thank you, Brett Blakemore, as always. Big thanks to John Bonus and Chad Graff for joining as well. And thanks to you for listening. It's been a good day.
Listen back to any of Common Man's programs by podcasting on the iHeartRadio app or KFAN.com.
Ice Cube's Big 3 is the surprise hit of the summer. This Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern on CBS with playoff elimination on the line. The most physical, fiercest, and competitive basketball in the world. Miami's Michael Beasley and Lance Stevenson must win to make the playoffs, and breakout star Dwight Howard of the LA Riot will battle Gary Payton's Boston squad in a do-or-die match for both teams. 6 teams are alive for 4 spots, and all must win. There's no crying in the Big 3, and the no-holds-barred action starts Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Presented by iHeart.
Lenovo is built for creators who don't wait for inspiration. They chase it. With inventive tech, built-in AI tools, and seamless performance, Lenovo devices powered by Intel Core Ultra processors are designed to bring your wildest ideas to life faster. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Enjoy flexible financing, rewards on every purchase, and free shipping. And students get special offers when you create an account at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.